Philip Kindred Dick, often remembered by his initials PKD, was an American science fiction writer known for his futuristic and sometimes dystopian predictions about society and technology. He was far ahead of his time, and many of his predictions about the future have come true or are currently being explored by researchers and scientists, making him one of the most prescient science fiction writers of all time. His work has been adapted into numerous films, television shows, and other media. He began writing science fiction in the early 1950s. His work often explored themes of reality, identity, and the nature of consciousness. He was known for his ability to anticipate future technological developments and their potential impact on society. Some examples of his predictions include the creation of artificial intelligence. In many of his stories, Dick explored the concept of artificial intelligence and the ethical implications of creating sentient beings. Virtual reality. Dick wrote about the possibility of virtual reality and its impact on society. The blurring of reality and illusion. In some of his works, Dick explores the idea that it could be difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is not, leading to a breakdown of trust in reality. The surveillance state. In several of his stories, Dick wrote about the dangers of a society where individuals are constantly monitored and controlled by the government. The use of drugs to control the population. In a number of his stories, Dick explored the idea that governments or other organizations might use drugs or other means to control the thoughts and behaviors of their citizens. The dangers of technological advancement. Dick warned about the potential risks of technological advancement and the need for caution when embracing new technologies in many of his stories. Philip K. Dick was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1928, together with a twin sister who survived only for 6 weeks and sadly died from malnutrition. His family moved to the San Francisco Bay Area at a young age, where his parents divorced. PKD moved with his mother to Washington, D.C., and then back to California. Dick stated that he read his first science fiction magazine, Stirring Science Stories, in 1940. He began publishing science fiction stories in 1952 at the age of 23. He found little commercial success, but achieved his breakthrough with The Man in the High Castle, 1962, which earned him a Hugo Award. He later wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and this story became world famous through the Blade Runner movies. Additionally, the films Total Recall, Minority Report, and The Adjustment Bureau are all based on stories by Philip K. Dick, to name a few. He attended the University of California, Berkeley, for a couple of months before receiving an honorable dismissal. He did not declare a major and took history, psychology, philosophy, and zoology classes. For a short time, he also studied German. German idioms appear again and again in his novels. With the help of stimulants, he wrote up to 60 pages a day. However, Dick also struggled with drug abuse and mental illness for several years and tried to take his own life. As a result, living with him was not easy, and Dick was married 5 times. A sad story occurred in October 1972 when Dick, full of paranoia, wrote to the FBI headquarters to alert them that the science fiction writer Thomas Disch, 1940 to 2008, had allegedly been in contact with an anti-American organization of an alleged underground Nazi cabal that was attempting to covertly manipulate science fiction. In 1974, Dick wrote a letter to the FBI accusing various people, including the University of California, San Diego professor Frederick Jameson, of being foreign agents of Warsaw Pact powers. He also wrote that Stanislaw Lem was probably a false name used by a composite committee operating on orders of the Communist Party to gain control over public opinion. In the introduction to the 1980 short story collection The Golden Man, he wrote, "One time, when I owed the IRS a lot of money and couldn't raise it, Heinlein loaned the money to me. I think a great deal of him and his wife. I dedicated this book to them in appreciation." During his life, he had several hallucinations and claimed to have experienced paranormal events. He was once startled by an appearance of a pink ray, telling him that his young son was sick. The Dicks immediately took the child to hospital, where a professional diagnosis confirmed the illness. He died in 1982 in Santa Ana, California, at the age of 53 due to complications from a stroke. He's buried beside his twin sister. In 2017, an asteroid was named after him, 9004 PKD. And even today, the Philip K. Dick Award is given for the best science fiction stories in America.